Sorry. I had to get the camera right, I guess. Let's see what we got. Okay. That's good enough. Be working right here. Give it a little bit more. Okay, well, I'm gonna go get these tools. Maybe I'll put up a sticker or something. I don't know. What we got? A poll. Ask a question. Uh, you working today? You working today? Done. Start poll. Okay. I'm going to start getting into, I guess this is for whoever's watching this on the replay. Um, I'm going to start gathering these things. I don't really have a sophisticated plan. I guess the poll's cool, but it's like stuck on my screen, so I can't even see myself. But whatever. I think I'm building a shelf. I already got this started the other day, and I think I'm just gonna finish off um, where I left off. But I have no genuine plans. I made in my head. I know that I gotta just do a 60 inch shelf. It's all reclaimed wood, so you get some stuff like this. It's nice and dried out now. It was wet, so I unintentionally dried this out, so that obviously helped. Um, but so this is gonna. I have 3 more of these. Let me just back up so you could kind of see what I'm doing. If you have any questions, um, I somewhat could see that far, but not really. I will come by and just check it out. But you could ignore me if you want. You can hang out if you want. That's up to you. So I'm just going to be cutting. I have 3 of these rectangles that I made the other day. Someone's saying hi. Maybe I should be a little bit closer. The best ever. Okay. What's up, Rebecca? Leo the GOAT. What makes you the GOAT? Are you a GOAT or are you the GOAT? So I get a little anxious when I work on camera, so I'm gonna just try to do, normal, just do what I do. It's unplanned. It's not really planned. I'm gonna let the chickens out in a few. Hopefully everybody has laid. I've been doing that lately. I just wanted to get on here. I don't know, I just needed the company today. Like the stream, like I said, I'll be hanging out. I'm going to do something that I don't normally do. Savage, thank you so much for the sub. Hopefully we'll hang out and you'll come back and we'll get something worth that sub. I'll check your channel out if you have one as well. What are you doing? Yeah, right now I'm just like talking it out. But I have this garden shed that I put together. I think I have a short or video of that. And it has no shelving inside. It's a really small, it's supposed to be just for my garden. So I need to put a shelf in there because now that it's great that I'm keeping all of this stuff out of the elements. The next problem is that I'm just dumping stuff in there. So I've needed to make a shelf or buy a shelf for some time. And since it's like an interesting shape, I'm probably better off just making it. And I love using all of this reclaimed wood. I don't know, this wood is probably on like its 3rd project. So obviously it keeps getting cut down. I can't multiply it. But yeah, let's start getting to some cutting. So essentially are not going to stack on here. I just want to make. I have all this old decking wood that's in the ether, and I'm probably just gonna put decking wood on top. It doesn't matter what I use because it's not going indoors. Oh, you didn't know that? You slapped him. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I'm missing something. So we do have some people working today. That's cool. You don't work. Okay. Well, any whatever you define as work, it could be sitting there thinking really hard. That could be your work. Um, I wouldn't say I'm playing. I was working on this 8-bit video game that I have been designing with my son, and yeah, it's been fun. So I just finished that up. I got out here a little late, so the sun is in. Right now, I'm looking like your content creator who has no skills, who's just gonna talk about all the stuff that they're gonna do. That's that's not my personality. I actually do stuff. You're a teacher. Cool. Oh, cool. What do you teach? What do you teach? I'm not so much a fan of schools, but I love to learn. I hope you're a really good teacher. I don't know if wherever you guys are, if you've been noticing the summer's kind of moving on. It is hot during the day, but for the most part, it has not been that hot in the morning and in the evening. Teach fifth grade. Oh man, my fifth grade teacher. Oh, what is her name? My sister had her too. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we got 38 and a quarter. What age would you let your son date? That depends on what you define as date, really. Um, I don't. Hanging out is a little dating. I mean, is that a serious? Is there something serious about dating? Colorado. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about what age would I let my children date. I think that goes under those things that people say before they get somewhere, and they're like, I wouldn't do this at this age, and yeah, all that goes out the window. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna let my son date until 15, and then at 11 he rolls in here and him and his friends are going on a group date. He's been dating for a year already. Okay, sorry. I will be going on and off camera. I got like supplies everywhere. Shadow Black. Oh, I don't have water to do my my favorite thing. Shadow Black says, I don't the go. I don't care about being old, man. That's not for me. Well, as long as I'm living, I mean, I'm gonna hold true to. I do respect the fact that these platforms allow for you to express your creativity. Um, they don't do the they don't do a really good job of supporting all types of creativity, but that's what I think of this platform, so I'm not really going to stress more than that. So okay, I did miss Shadow Black's comment. It depends on the maturity of the child, nothing less than the age of 13. Again, I'm out the game. 17, 18, I would say I have 3 kids, a girl, 2 boys. I got the same scenario. My oldest is 10, I'm pretty close there. Oh, 6 months. I love the stay-at-home dad part. Yeah, I love that. What am I? I'm the guy who what isn't this the guy who was donated to? I've never received a donation in my life. And he started asking the donor to take his donation for himself. I did have somebody say they wanted to donate money to me, and I said they need to use that for themselves. So maybe, maybe you're not trolling. Yeah, I don't. That's not why I'm here. I'm not. I'm really not here for a donation or anything. Um, I was streaming. I was on like a little streak. Um, it meant a lot to me at the time. It started to have less meaning to every. I didn't feel. I didn't feel the vibrations of what I was doing, and I kind of lost my way. But I was never really here to. Um, 10-year-old is turn. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Not that I've ever been a true stay-at-home, because I definitely didn't aspire it. But during COVID, I was down for 3 years without a job. Not because I couldn't find one, because my kids were just too young, and because of what was going on, I made that decision. But I definitely enjoyed it. So it was hard. Had to change my state of mind though. I don't know why this is. Is it that this is dark, or is it that maybe my phone brightness needs to be brighter? Hold on. Nope, it's on its brightest. Yeah. In August, he's gonna be in my class. Bro, you're always at work, something between working from home and always working in the yard. I appreciate your content and the things you do because it's natural. Yeah, I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. Everybody is I mean, you can't say nothing about the content that feels unnatural. In the end, this is from the point of view that where you guys are sitting, and I'm usually there because I'm an avid watcher of content. It's entertainment. So, well, just because my brand of entertainment, is one thing or the other, I'm just at the point where it's all artistry. I do wish that the algorithms were more generous in certain areas. But hey, that's just not what people are into. People are not into working super hard. Um, but they'll learn. That's all I can say. Not even to go deep into my feelings on that. You gotta go to the store. Well, pick me up something. Well, I miss living in a city where you could just go to the bodega. I would go by Shadow. No, I didn't go to Shadow Black's 187th as much, but go get me. If I did, I used to get peanut chews from the bodega by Shadow Black on 187th. Are you chill with your son, or are you guys like strict parents? Um, Definitely not what you would consider. I don't even know if I could sit on this. Definitely not if what you would say a strict parent. Um, but that being said, I have deal breakers. I'm a very direct and observant parent. So I'm also not using all of my life lessons. I don't feel like many of my life lessons. There's not that many lessons that are applicable to where we are at in the world now for my children. So I'm kind of migrating a lot of what I'm observing and turning that into some deep conclusions that I could help my children with and kind of just sit in the background. I also use this platform that way. When my son comes on with me, I'm generally asking questions because he's at a vulnerable phase at that point, to allow me to sit there and question him because he has the pressures of, I'll be very honest with you. all of these kids have the pressure of, I might go viral. He thinks he's gonna say the one thing, and he might be trying to push himself to say that one thing that's gonna make him go viral, because that is a life changing opportunity that I don't think we really had. Uh, Shadow Black says you would have to define strict parents. Everything is social media based. Not everything. They can see everything, so there's really nothing you can keep them from seeing. I don't know, if you're a stay-at-home parent, you can. I don't know, man. I don't know. I did. I don't want to say that that's like sort of like in a red pill, the maturity of a child. Well, it sounds like you're a very good parent, Shadow Black, but what works for you may not work for someone else. One, I just think you got to be in the game, right? You got to want to be around. But I know a lot of parents that are in the game, and they're supporting their children and they're pushing their children, and I get a little weary of some of the things, some of the pressures that I see, you know. You When you have multiple children, you may have different children. Everybody's not going to follow the same system. When we were kids, eons ago, households didn't really have too many different kids. You had like everyone else in the baby. It's like, you do this. This is what you do. This is what you eat. This is how you eat. So when you break down the change of wanting to provide a more full or better experience, in your whatever that means to you, there's some drawbacks. There's some compromises to what that is, and so I could see it many ways. I watched a rated. My kids watched the rated R movie. My two sons are under 10, and they watched to them it was a rated R movie about 2 weeks ago, and I watched it with them. I was willing to, not that I knew the full blueprint of the movie, but I was willing to get to the point where something was a little bit off, and it helps me to observe them and how they respond and react to it. Because I'm pretty sure at that age I was already seeing stuff that I had to make a judgment on, or my mom made the judgment for me and said, "This is how you think about that." What's up, Daniel? Essentials. I like your name, man. Some kids download social media without their parents' permission and hide it. No, it's no different than stealing candy and hiding it. I was a candy stealer. I stole pencils, pens. I've only been caught one time. My whole life, I think I've been caught one time was stealing candy from my babysitter's house. She used to have this nice big bowl, and man, that candy looked so good, and I would just like steal it and hide it. I mean, you could make the argument that the that social media is more stimulating and it could be more dangerous and polarizing, but I look at it this way. You ain't gonna be able to see these kids, and you're definitely not gonna be able to see what their friends are into. Roblox is terrible. We're talking about social media. At least that takes effort. Roblox could be terrible, and it could teach very bad habits. And because you as a parent think that they're on a video game, you have no idea. So I don't know. This doesn't have to be the parent chats or the parent trap, but you guys interested in parenting today? I'll give you my take on it. Um, okay. All right. Well, anything you want to shout out? Last night, me and my son, we had a pretty good stream. Hey, what's up, Inhox? Oh no, I know that's not your name. What is your name? That's not your name, man. I know that's not you. It's been so long. But what's up though? What's good with you? Yeah, man. last night I had a stream with my son, and we were really like having a good time, but talking about um, I was trying to hint on the vulnerability, my bro. I was trying to hint on the vulnerability of him, and sometimes how he reacts to video games. Hey, Katie, enjoy your church. Um, hopefully I ain't say nothing that makes you feel like you not in church and right now. The church. But yeah, we were talking about his reaction to video games and how he I've seen him get very mad about video games. Please turn me down. We don't need no pastors coming for me. So he gets mad at video games, like he reacts. But here's the interesting part, and similar to Shadow Black, I don't know if you're still around, but what I was saying about the lessons that I can't really thank you. Thanks for the sub, man. You would make a good therapist. I've actually thought about getting into therapy just as one of those like distant thoughts about, like, when you look at your reflection and what you will be good at. I'm a high integrity person, and I'm a realist. Things just don't always go my way, but I have a lot of history of overcoming things and figuring things out. So I do appreciate that. The sub, like I said, hopefully, hopefully the sub is worth it. That's all I could say. These days, what that means is it becomes, I won't say challenging, but it's definitely trivial. But yeah, so Shadow Black, um, I don't know if you guys know, but the design of a lot of the games, the free to play games in particular, they all have like a ranking mechanism, and the social. So let's like break down. There's no way that this project is getting done at this point because I'm enjoying the talk, right? Shadow Black says present. Shadow Black clearly went to school in the 80s. Darnell just talking. Present. Shadow Black. Present. So what was I saying? So the social component of being trash at something is way bigger than not getting picked for the football game, the basketball game. I mean, I guess if you didn't get picked to play chess, that didn't really bother you. Um, if you got caught in your karate gi on the wrong street, yeah, you probably going somebody gonna say something, especially if you not no black belt. Get that white belt. Yeah, you probably going somebody going at least where I come from, somebody gonna say something. But those things didn't follow you as much, right? So here's the problem, and maybe you guys don't see it. I get to study it every day because of the age of my children. All my children play some sort of video games. The free to play games, the popular ones in my house. Fortnite, Rocket League. I play Rocket League. I do not play Fortnite. Um, I wouldn't want to give my reasoning as to why, because then my son's gonna see this and he's gonna say, "That's why you never play with us," because they have asked me many times. But I play Rocket League, and I play competitive, and I enjoy it, and I'm getting better and better, and I have goals in the game. But here's the difference: when I was a young person, my concept of games and being good at a game was I played a game. So let's take a game. I'll take a game that I was really good at. NBA Jam, right? How many of you have ever played NBA Jam? Get just somebody to say they even know what NBA Jam is. And if you want to add a bonus point, tell me what system you played NBA Jam on. NBA Jam. He's on fire. Or you could have played the arcade, I guess. All right, I'm not waiting. So NBA Jam, right? I was really good at NBA Jam. You played it yesterday. Austin Chapman, what's up? What's up? How are you doing? Have you played NBA Jam, Austin? You played on the Wii. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know they could get that on the Wii. You got like the Wii, the original Wii or the Wii University? What you got, Shadow Black? So I was good at NBA Jam. So when I say good, I'm talking 100-point scoring good. I'm talking you gonna keep getting pushed. Like the way that I play sports, very physical person. Not physical in a dirty way, not a John Stockton, Jeff Hornacek. I'm gonna do dirty plays, but I'm quick, I'm fast, and I'm passionate. So I'm gonna get to that ball. When one of my favorite drills is when coach would throw the ball out, and you gotta go run and dive for the ball and grab it. I don't think I've ever been beat to the ball. You look in these eyes, you don't want the smoke. So I play NBA Jam the same way. So I'm pushing, stealing the ball. Next thing you know, I'm on fire. The person that I'm playing with, there's no way that in the first, minute of the game that they don't realize that this is not a winnable game anymore. Even NHL games, I love, and I don't play one lick of hockey, could barely skate. I appreciate the love in Hawks. I could barely skate. I love hockey. I've loved hockey games since since Nintendo. I love hockey games. I think that hockey and like FIFA games, the gameplay matches has always been very close to what you do in the sport. Whereas basketball games and football games, they took a very long time to get to where they are. Um, you had a school fight in the first grade. There was bigger. There was people bigger than me pulling my arms, so I pushed one big guy to the floor, and he had a nosebleed. I was proud of myself, man. That show. So I'm gonna tell you a story about elementary school after I say what I'm saying. So um, so I was really competitive in NBA Jam, right? Carolyn's here. I wish I had some maracas for you. That's I gotta bring the instruments out when we do a stream. Carolyn, I was attempting to do a project, but it was really hard to read. So I'm gonna just do make it what we make it. So I was really good at NBA Jam, and you're never gonna be the best at something. So it's gonna take me a long time to get to the point where I'm gonna find somebody, and then it's gonna be competitive, right? So when you're good at something, everybody's gonna know you're good because when friends get together, you have little sleepovers. That back in the days, we used to have sleepovers, get-togethers. You go to the YMCA's, the Boys and Girls Club, anywhere where there's games. That that image follows you on who you are. Mainly when you're really good at something. If you're not good at something, you're just considered not good. You're not like trash. I mean, if it's a 2v2 game, yeah, if I have to team up with you and they randomly picked, I'm gonna feel a way, but I'm gonna feel the same way when playing something physical. So I a lot of times see games as like there's a physical component that mirrors what sports are. So here my son, he gets into a game and it's competitive. Now, you could find a competitive game 24 hours a day because the game is international, right? So the problem here is I can't run away from not having a rank because if I play the game, if somebody says, "Yo, you play Rocket League?" I actually Shadow Black, that's my childhood friend. But when I found out Shadow Black played Rocket League, first question, "Yo, what's your rank?" I don't care about nothing else. I just say, "Do you like the cars that fly in the sky?" No, it's like, "Yo, what's your rank?" Cause I want to know who's better right away. And if I don't believe you, we gonna have to get on. We gonna have to get on what we used to call the sticks. We're gonna have to get on the sticks. We're gonna have to figure this out. I don't believe you. So imagine being a kid and you can't talk about video games without exposing the fact that you suck. Can you imagine that, going to school and you suck because you want to play a video game? So Rocket League, you want to play this game so bad, but everyone also plays the same games. Everyone that surrounds you, all your peers. So because it is so competitive, you fit into a category that follows you. It follows you to school. It follows you to the after school program. It follows you to the dinner table. It follows you. And that's the contrary to, like, when I remember being a child, I can guarantee you that what followed you was you were really good at something. Not to say that you can't be really good and be followed now at a video game. I'm pretty sure that's the case. But you also, just because you were trash at basketball doesn't mean that you felt the need not to play basketball when people were around. And Hawks, I see you, man. Holla at me. I've been on here a lot more in the past days. I say it's been days. I don't know if it's been a week. But yeah, so Daniel, I did want to a funny story that brings me back when you say, like, there was bigger kids and all that. I wasn't the biggest kid in elementary school, but because I was in sort of the gifted nerdy class, and I wasn't really much of a nerd. Like, I have a nerdy brain. I don't have a nerdy personality. I've never had that. So I'm able to kind of like be in the middle. But where me and Shadow Black went to elementary school, there's some rough kids in there. It was definitely some rough kids in there. If you ask me, now when I say rough, I'm going to tell a story. I don't know if the statute of limitation is up, but I just feel the need to tell this story. In fact, I'm okay with telling it because the person who's in the story is one of my best friends, and is he said, she said, it's a first person account, and he still be saying that this ain't the story, even though I was there and I have an actual record and a witness of what happened. So I always had to, like, protect the other kids, the nerds. Lies you tell, you always been 714. Was the fact. Nah, but what I'm saying, Shadow Black and Daniel, I hope you enjoyed it so far. What I'm saying is that when you're a nerdy kid, you usually aren't good at sports. You like you said, you ain't the fastest kid in a race. You don't do anything that we deem to be extraordinary, right? So people aren't going to gravitate to you for that. So think about, if you're a nerdy kid, think of the things that you can do to somewhat get attention or get respect. For me, it was hard because I feel like elementary school felt like there was general population. Like, I felt like I was in a white collar zone. I did a conservative crime, and going down to deal with the other kids, I always had to be on my P's and Q's. So there's two things that I remember like dearly. One time my best friend got knocked out. You was, see? Thank you, Shadow Black. I was the toughest nerd. Why I gotta be a nerd? Nah, but see, what the thing is, what does being smart have to do with being able to defend yourself and not, like, like, I've never looked to bother anybody. I've always had the same mentality. I've never been that type of person. Growing up in the city where we grew up, there are kids out there who they leave their house with the intent to cause chaos into other people's lives. At 6 years old, at 7 years old, your job was to cause chaos to my life. At 7 years old. So you got to make a choice. Are you going to be a person, an agent of chaos? Now I know at, now under 50, which is what I call myself now, I understand that clearly something's probably wrong with the home structure of a kid who leaves their home and wants to cause chaos. They probably are under chaos when they go inside the house, so they only know how to reinforce that on others. But I was the innocent out there, so I had to protect myself. So here's the one story. Then I'll get off that. We could stop talking about elementary school from 40 years ago. Um, I was in class. I was in the first grade, and this taught me a lot about life. I was in the first grade, and no different than people who are in their 20s or 30s. There was a girl who liked me, and I was not liked because the girl that liked me, there was another boy who liked her. So I wasn't liked for that reason. And that boy was of at the time was of the criminal mindset. Not only was he of the criminal mindset, he already had a record. His record, he got left back already in the first grade. He was already left behind. He was already a year older. This isn't a kid who came, I grew up in the Bronx, so you get the kids who come from another country and they got to do ESL, I guess that's English second language, and they're acclimating, so their age might be off. No, 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 no. This was a kid that was born with us. And he got left back in the first grade. Do I know what he did to get left back? I don't know. But I know when I met him, he was terrible. I wasn't afraid of him, but I used to watch him. He was terrible. He it's so weird. He was not only terrible, he was a twin. Oh, I wish they. Well, I don't wish they skipped me, but I definitely was very similar. I wasn't that tall. I was tall enough, but I wasn't that tall. I didn't grow until high school. But listen, this kid was terrible. He not only had a twin, but he also had multiple family members of all grades in the whole school. So they would terrorize anyone. You couldn't mess with this family. It was a family problem. Uh, so this one day, I was just being innocent Darnell. I remember sitting in this class. I can redraw this class if you ask me to. And we were sitting in the U shape so that everyone could see one another and the teacher could come in the middle of the desk. And I watched him whisper to another kid. This is the old elementary school whisper where I heard something because you still ain't whispering that good. And some of us never learn how to whisper. But let's just say I don't think he learned how to whisper as of yet. And I heard just one piece of what he said. All I heard was darn. That meant that Darnell was in danger. All I heard was darn. So he decided to tell another kid. I want to say the kid's name was Quincy. He told another kid to go smack me in the back of my head and then run. I only know this because of how it unfolded. So as I'm sitting there, I don't know what's gonna happen yet. I get smacked in the back of my head like just a. Teacher didn't see it. I'll take you guys back. It was a goddamn a duck duck goose. It was a duck duck goose. A random feeling of duck duck goose. But they touch you on the head, then they gotta. That's a dangerous game. That game, if I mean kids are a lot softer now, but if I were a kid, that game I would hurt some. I would rush. If I knew what I could get away with, I would hurt someone in Duck Duck Goose. So he smacks me in the back of my head, and I get up instantly, go run after him. When I run after him, I notice the agent of chaos get up and run after me. So now we're in this. I'm in the middle. I'm chasing the person who smacked me, but the person who orchestrated it is actually now chasing me. So the teacher at that point notices and she goes behind him. So now it pretty much is four people. And how did we all get here? All because of the agent of chaos, who's one of my best friends today. So he decides to run after me. So now we throw the hands. So we throw the hands real quick, swing, swing, swing. The teacher comes to break it up. They start pounding the teacher. What in where are you from? In today's day and age, social media, how would this be received? I could tell you nothing happened. The teacher was no longer our teacher. She got carried out in a wheelchair after he was all done. All I remember, and I'm at this point, I'm 6 years old. All I remember is him jumping up, and he looked like he was throwing uppercuts like the Mike Tyson Punch Out. He was just throwing uppercuts like this. Boom, boom, boom. That's all I remember. Our principal, Dr. De Jesus, remember Shadow Black? I remember Dr. De Jesus coming in the classroom. It was this whole thing. They wheeled her out. Her name was Mrs. Cooper. They wheeled Mrs. Cooper out. And now the three people who were involved in the incident that the principal kind of had to sort out, game over for him. You would think, right? You would think, but I think that he understood no snitching from back then. He was an agent of chaos. I was just this innocent. I was this innocent, nerdy kid who Shadow Black says I was just very fast. I had some wheels. So I don't remember what happened from the time Miss Cooper got out of the class to when I got home. And why I remember being home is because, as old school as it is, it's imprinted in my brain. The phone rang, old school phone, rotary phone. At that time we still had. And my mom calls for me. She's sitting in the living room. I remember my couch, and I remember standing right above, like right in front of her. And she asked, and she doesn't hint, she asked me, "What happened at school today?" She was calm as ever. Boy, if I did not snitch on everything I knew that happened that day and the previous 5 weeks, I wasn't taking the rap for getting smacked up. And by some people's definition, I didn't snitch because I was not involved. I wasn't affiliated with any of that. Miss Cooper wound up getting hurt. That little dude was the mastermind behind all of this. And he terrorized me for about 5 more years. And the guy that he got caught up in it, because he initially smacked me and I think he initially hit the teacher, he actually got expelled from school in the 1st grade. I ain't seen nothing from that kid ever since. I've heard of his name. I've heard of a prison rap. This stuff started at freaking 6 years old, man. So while we sit in here and we have these conversations about children, and Shadow Black is talking about maturity, some of these kids are making life decisions at 6. At 6 years old, that was my story. I'm gonna get back to. But I hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna just keep it running. So look, if you want to pop out, that's on you. I think today I knew it would be slower with me doing the work, but if I'm gonna have a good time and I'm gonna have a good time with you guys, meet some people, or hang out with the peoples that be coming around, more power to it. I'm about to let the chickens out, so you guys get to see that. I no longer want to wear the mic, at least temporarily. So I used to do this thing where I'm working and you could kind of see me walk off, and it felt comfortable. But there's like definitely pros and cons to it. I didn't really feel connected. Yeah, well, I'm having fun right now, Daniel. I don't know if every stream is that fun. I do try to. I think I stream more with my son now. Um, he's starting to look forward to it, and for me, it's working on him to be able to articulate himself and get understanding. So I'm kind of trying to parent within that. Um, but yeah, definitely appreciate you joining the stream. I got old content to look at. If I'm going for some time, you could check that out as well. Um, yeah, I try to like. I'm a fun person. I do like to have fun. It's hard to show that on the internet sometimes. I believe that's one of to me, the downsides of this, because it's really hard to show that, and how. Wow, I just got like a freaking deadly shooting message. I think I need to unsubscribe from this News 12 Bronx Twitter, because I just every day it's like another shooting, another shooting. But I'm gonna go walk that way. I think you guys can still see me, and go get that. And yeah, drop whatever you want in the chat. Shout outs to you. Shout whoever out you want, man. Shadow Blacks in the house. Chickens are like, we don't really want to come out. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Yeah, I mean, what were your? I mean, that's a good segue. What were your goals? I'm interested in what your goals were as a channel. Um, I think that's that sucks, but at the same time, I don't know what you got deleted for, but you my opinion is you have to realize. I hear a lot of people talking about their platform. That's a dangerous word for me. This is a channel on a platform. You didn't say platform. I'm just saying, warning to everybody who think that they can just overcome. Even the bigger channels go through that, where they start getting some copyright strikes, and there you go. It'll change the game of your channel. So I just don't see how you could make this your primary thing and have a 5-year plan with it. You do it. I've been seeing lately people who do work, handiwork, blue collar work, that like even like the truckers, that's a golden area to explore, where you're actually doing something. I wanted my channel to be about the stuff that I go through in my life, like homesteading, and hopefully when I got to a level where things were growing and it's easy for me to not just talk about it, but you could see what I'm doing. Then I hope I I shouldn't say I hope. I hope that I could connect with those people, but I know that those people in that community is out there. No, I don't know if you're the only one here because sometimes those numbers be. You can invite your subscribers to the stream. It'll be fun. Yeah, I would. What do you stream about? Are you serious, Carolyn? I didn't even know that's man. That vote is Carolyn. That vote is out of here. I didn't even know that that's what that thing did. I was what I was going for was um for whatever reason I thought that that would just be on my side, and maybe I could have tried to make it smaller. I don't know. No, to thank you, Carolyn. I didn't even know. Um, is it wrong of me that yeah, I seen it in the same spot. It was annoying me, but I'm more so looking at the comments. I just thought that that might have been my view. You live and you learn. You know, I ain't stressing it, but I do appreciate. That's why you gotta have people like you around that help me out. Oh, the chickens are lounging. They do this thing where they just literally the position I'm in. They would be like, "Oh, the sun is so beautiful. Oh, I really wish you guys could see that." Let me try. I don't know if you can see from there, but if I go walk over there, they might stop. It was a late. No, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to walk over there. I do have a new internet, so supposedly have an extender, and we could that's gonna work. I'm also just doing it for me, not necessarily for you for having a YouTube channel. So it's very interesting how I've just kind of curved it, and this is how I feel about it now. It's just when I want the company, I go get the company, but I just let them out. The doors open. There's nothing stopping them from going out and exploring. And this is what they're saying. They're like, "Ooh, life is good." I don't have pets, so this is like they are bougie livestock, I guess, because they're treated really well. Like when I tell you, we're gonna see how close we could get without disturbing them. And I try to pay them a little extra for helping my channel growth out. They got enough tanning. Yo, they ain't afraid of nothing, man. Like, well, I shouldn't say that. Let one little weird sound come up in here. Ooh, shake it up. Yeah, I haven't bought eggs in 5 years, and I'll give you guys a sneak peek. But I'm debating about starting to sell eggs for the first time. So that'll be an very interesting concept for me. I've never attempted or wanted to sell eggs, but here we are. I'm looking for trying not to be so stubborn with my concepts, right? Like I'm a person who enjoys the abundance. That chicken is taking some dance. Woo! Yeah, they do that all the time. That's a little dirt bath. Um, but yeah, I enjoy the abundance, and from the way I interpret the permaculture, fair share is like taking your fair share, so that you don't you don't have to, like when the egg prices were high, and I could pretty much name my price. I'm sitting here with 6 dozen eggs extra, and I mean, on one side of me is saying, "Wow, you could freaking those eggs were going for $7, $8 a dozen, and here I am with 6 extra dozen that I don't need, that I can't eat myself." So you have that choice. But I was never set up. I didn't have enough hens that if somebody were to clear me out, um, I didn't feel like that was worth it, because there's always that risk that something could go wrong. The chickens could get sick. You don't want to put yourself, like I've always been very careful not to put myself in a bad situation to spoil the abundance. So I'm more of a fair share kind of person, and just taking my fair share. So, but on the flip side, there are, getting paid back for my resources just because it's livestock. Um, if I'm going to continue to bless families, friends with, um, a healthy substitute for protein, and something better than what they could buy in a store, why wouldn't I claim back some of those resources? So I just think that I'm at the point where I have to observe that, and maybe my future isn't doing some of the stuff on the land. I definitely enjoy it. I go from just saying it's a lifestyle. I would love to mimic that, but I think I'll tear my ACL. That was hilarious. That's the result of like the skittish, like that's the trash Rocket League players. You don't really want to get out there. Thanks for turning on notification. I don't think I've ever told anybody to ever do that. Yeah, I mean, look, it's yeah, company is important, and who knows, maybe I'll take YouTube more serious and start vlogging and giving more back to that. But I think it's just being comfortable with how you feel. I'm getting super comfortable with just living in my success and failure, and it is what it is. And I didn't want to. My son is the one who kind of warned me, and though I pushed his warning away, like, you're gonna lose it or you're gonna get rusty. I didn't want to risk that, so I said, okay, let me just go on and see what it was like. And he was right. When I got behind the desk and I was doing OBS, I didn't know where everything was. I know what everything does. I just didn't know where everything was. And even now, like my tripod is broken down. All this equipment that I wanted to get, I don't have. So, but we definitely do got to focus. I got some projects that um, they need work. They need get into. Maybe I could continue to cut while that chicken's doing the bird laying song. I had stopped because I didn't bring over any of the pieces, and we were kind of hanging out. But Daniel, thanks for hanging out for sure. You can do a kick stream or Twitch. Uh yeah, I mean, I'm very familiar. I have a Twitch kick. I don't know if I fit into the demographic as much. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm open to it, but I don't know what's gonna come from any of it. Daniel, just real quick, I streamed for 145 straight days, and at the result of it, I felt like it though that it was progress, it wasn't worth the return wasn't worth it, the investment, and it wasn't worth the investment. And if I could get some of that time back, to the land, I think I'm just not. Maybe I'm not where I need to be yet, as far as projects accomplished. And some people say, well, there'll always be work. No, I'm talking about bigger, massive projects like this patio that I'm working on. That I messed up some of the concrete that needs to be fixed. Like, that's not your everyday work. When I get to the point where Saturday comes and whatever I want to do it's just a choice, then we're getting somewhere. We're definitely not there yet. And that's when I could sit back and understand what the investment it is and have more fun. A lot of times when things aren't fun, what am I doing coming on YouTube? Say, hey, I'm not here having fun. Because it sounds not organic, but I think if you promote the negative, you get two types of people. You get the sympathetic people. Good luck if YouTube even sends anything to them, because that's not something that drives engagement. Or you'll get the people who love to see you fail. So, why would I invite a cloud of people to, just continue to cast bigger, broader shadows on what I'm doing? I'm a very peaceful person. I like being in peace. I share peace with my land, my animals, my chickens, my family, and sometimes when the times are not great, um, it's harder to come on here. But when I was doing the streaming every day, one of the things that I noticed was that I was forcing it and I was finding time to just be present. And that time, I don't know if it was good for me, because it's like when you're at work sometimes and you really don't want to be there and you start clock watching. But then let's say you have a meeting or you have an important meeting, you know how to code switch, you know how to get back to being present enough so that people aren't like alarmed by it. Your personal life, and I wouldn't want streaming to feel like that. Right now, I don't even know if this is streaming. To me, this is just one mechanism to get content on YouTube. I just happen to be doing it like live. People who desire to be streaming and they have real goals. I just don't have those goals anymore. I just wanted to grow a channel, potentially could be monetized one day, and it could help support whatever I want to do, scale up, scale down, and just be present and show other people that there's nothing wrong with, just being yourself. So, but I'll skip the whole positive energy in which I believe in. But like I said, I don't know if that's I don't know if that's something that is reciprocated in these algorithms. So, but sad that I haven't done any of this work. I'm gonna just go get a piece of wood and close that fence over there before I have to go chase chickens everywhere. Be right back. After these messages. I gotta say, I'm back, guys. Uh, it was being a YouTuber in school got me a lot of friends. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Because my kids, they think, like my sons, they get they tell their friends. My daughter, people do get excited about that. I just don't know how, like, what are you converting that into? You know, that's like me being. I was pretty good at basketball, but I wasn't good enough to go to the NBA. So like now, the only people that I was good to, they don't. They have to be there in order for me to tell a story of how good I was. And I've said this to a friend before. It's a crazy concept. If you need the people to be there, if you need people to be there to tell the story of how good you were, or when you were doing YouTube, he was amazing. You're waiting for all of these people have to survive with you, to uphold who you are. So for me, I just had to embrace. I know what I was. I know who I was. But I have to embrace that when you look at me, you don't see a basketball player. I don't have to show up in the freaking door at the barbecue. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's like that's not what you see. I'm not here to explain to you what that used to look like. Definitely athletes. Athletes need to be studied. Like that kind of brings up for me the recent conversation, and I actually did a little reaction stream, and I'll keep talking about this because this is a new arc for me. Is talking about popular topics, the whole LeBron James thing, and I think aside from sports analysis, there's a lot of information that's in there that's deep about what sports are and what you can learn from these athletes who tie themselves into almost not being like a normal human, like you and I. And yeah, I mean it's pretty evident in their it's pretty evident in the things that they say, that they really don't see themselves as being the same as us. Okay, let's see. With your fans, you should collaborate with. I actually wanted to. I tried. That's more up my alley. I was looking at. I study YouTubers. Daniel. I was looking at Tasha K. Tasha K does that. She has a really good following, and then she has like an exclusive meetup. What's the guy I haven't seen? I haven't been on in a while. Set Apart Gardens. He uses his members as that same kind of thing, a meetup. No Captivity with Freezy. He does in his Discord. He does a Bible studies on Saturday, and then he has actually a members only stream on Wednesdays. I think the problem, Daniel, and you would be a great person to be in the strategizing room. I'm more of a producer. I'm not. I love the ideas that you have because that's kind of where I'm at. I have all these ideas and I back my ideas with data. But the one thing that you can't force anybody to be there, and two, you can't control what people like. The benefit of being able to reach everybody is that you could find varying times where people are available, but you have to have enough people that when you actually do something, especially if you're sporadic and they're not aligning to you, that you have enough people to get the value of that quality experience. So I've struggled with that. So if I got to the point, I would think if I had 50 solid recurring people weekly, just weekly, 50 people, I would think it would be worth it to put out, something to say, let's do a Google Meet, let's build offline. Absolutely. I'm at the point, I think the highest I've gotten was 10. So I think I'm like 40 people away from that. And hear me out. The reason why is because in the beginning, it's funny you say that, I'll be on there every stream. Now I hear you. Granted, I have a few Like Carolyn has been hanging out with me every. God damn it, my chickens already done found the damn loophole. Let me get some shakes. I'm not gonna forget my point either. Um, yeah, this is crazy. This happens every freaking time. I don't know where things would be if I didn't have this. I don't know what would happen. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I could see my chicken went to my neighbor's side, and I'm starting to speculate that. All right, okay, look, guys, look. I'm starting to speculate. Just trying to keep them over there. I'm starting to speculate that they love new grass in a way that they see something on the new grass that's not in the grass that they've been in, even though to my eye that grass seems like it's still the same height. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. So, which one of you was it? They don't want to reveal themselves, but somebody was guilty. They went all the way up there. My neighbor's garden was open. It wasn't really done anything in that quick of time, but that's the annoying part. I still have this fence over here open. I don't really care if they go all the way around the house sometimes, but I was talking to you guys. So Daniel, hopefully you're still hanging out. This is what I noticed in the beginning. Not the Bible. In the beginning, I was getting I was actually feeling the love from the people who continue to come, like come back. Sorry, it's got some screws I want to take care of. There were people who were coming back, and it was like every day, every stream. And then you reach you go like a month like that, and then it might be a different set of people. You might have a couple stragglers that come along, and then you go through a different arc. So it's not fair to think that these people are going to be there all the time, um, all the time, and they're there for you, and it's all good vibes. That's just not realistic, right? So you have to have enough people so that people don't really feel a way that they're not, you know, some people, I ain't gonna lie to you, sometimes it felt like pity. Like, I'm gonna be there because no one is not Darnell deserves way more than what he's getting. And I fed into that ideology, but I'm kind of against it now. It is what it is. It's a game, and with every game, you got to know the rules to play. You got to have skills to play it. I'm not always the most entertaining person. I can name you many times that I found that it was a topic that I was super passionate about, and it was in the news. It was, you know, my take I think would have been valued, but I refused to do it because I didn't want the audience, just with my integrity, I didn't want the audience to feel impacted negatively by what I was, what I would say. So I would hold back and continue the same script, like, oh, and it's not that I don't feel that way, because I don't want anybody to feel a certain way, but I'm also limiting my potential discovery because I want to avoid the same dramatic, you know, back and forth that happens on the internet. Just like when you get trolls, right? The way trolls respond. I mean, let them troll. Who cares? Like, they're not hurting me. They could be hurting the channel. I don't know enough to know that. That chicken stole some candy from another chicken and then tried to make it run. Yeah, they steal from each other. I mean, for them, if we operated like chickens, that stealing wouldn't be illegal. It's par for the course, man. That pecking order, somebody in charge and somebody ain't in charge, and that's just the rules of the game. And don't act like favoritism don't exist out there, because a lot of us have to figure that out the hard way. That you are not favored. So, okay. So game time decision. I was gonna go with nails. I'm still not there yet. What do you guys think? I think nails will be better than screws. I do have my air compressor here, and it wouldn't be much to go get my nail gun. I want to say the finishing nails will be better because I don't need this to be. I mean, it's overkill as it is. I'm just kind of using materials. That's my excuse with how hefty I'm going. It's so good to be skilled though, because nails. Thank you. We'll go nails. It's so good to be skilled though, because all of the perfectionists, the things that I wanted to do in the past, I had to, make a whole design for this. I couldn't just think it through, evidence that I haven't done it, or that I don't actually do it. So look at this. There is, I'm about to trip over here. Tripping in sights are not good. So I have the option. It sounds subtle, but what is the distance between this and that, and how much of a gap do I want to leave? And I would struggle on these decisions. And the reality is, I don't freaking care because it doesn't freaking matter. Like it absolutely doesn't matter because what's going on this is already overkill for what's going on it. But I have the resources. I was actually looking at a palette and saying to myself, why don't I just use the palette? Let me say it again. Why don't I just use the palette wood? I do have some palette wood. I don't know. Maybe I should do. Hold on, one second. One second. I'll still be using nails though. It's a game time decision. I'm thinking I just took this off of a pallet. Didn't really have a use for it. Um, I'm thinking this will go nice, and it may take me a little bit longer. It'll be more cuts, but this is, I'm guessing, some old decking material from uh, at least the early '90s, if not the late '80s. I love the material. A lot of it is it's just a slight little bend. I can still use it. It's okay. I cut it down pretty nice, and these are pretty much stacked well. So I'm okay that I just wasted my time cutting that. The difference and why I made that decision on the fly is because this was gonna go the long way anyway, and I think I like it better when it comes to spacing and getting rid of this material that does not stack as well, and that I can't cut down into the certain strips that I want. So for that, I can pretty much cut it into 4 foot, 6 foot, be done with it, stack it all different ways. When it comes to this stuff, yeah, it has holes in it and all of that, but this is pretty good. That's my test. This is pretty much what I needed for it since it's going a short distance. Um, I mean, this is hardwood. This came off of a pallet, and maybe this will make me leave the house to go look for a good pallet. I think Ocean State Job Lot is having some pallets, and this will be nothing to cut down. I don't think I'll be able to get two boards out of any of these, but we'll see. We'll see. Some of them have nails in it, so let me just cut that. Let me just change that up. I don't know if somebody suggested it or you was thinking in your heart, why is he using such bulky material for this small little shelf? I'm partly just doing the talk on YouTube thing. Partly it's trying to pass the time in the sun. Oh, you can stick around. You don't have anything to say. That's all good. I'll ask you a question. Maybe this will spark both of us. What was your, when you stream, what was your favorite topic or something about like your favorite stream or your favorite thing about streaming? Or anyone who streams out there, like what is what's your favorite thing about like just going live. I mean, I'm sure many of you were born in an era where this didn't exist. So yeah, this is gonna cut down really easy. I did not get a measurement on what I'm going for. It's 18 inches, so you love streaming with your friends. Yeah, I wish I had some friends that wanted to stream with me, to be honest with you. Why did you get banned? Why did you get banned? Speaking of that, Daniel, one of the interesting things that I had to observe is that you also don't get to control who comes to your stream. So you may not be making content that meets that target audience. It's sort of like this is like a basket of treats, and you don't really know what you're gonna get. So I sound like Forrest Gump. You never really know what you're gonna get. Oh, you was underage. Yeah. See, that's the thing. So when I want to go into topics about having 3 kids and how hard life is, you might be like, "Oh, this ain't for me." So my all bets are off at that point, because you have to kind of know your audience. I think that my wish would be that they can do better with matching people. Obviously, they're doing. Obviously, they're a billion-dollar platform, multi-billion-dollar platform. So who am I, right, to say that they could do a better job at matching people? But if I keep this crack, I am gonna be able to get 2 boards. So I'm keeping that crack. I am keeping that crack. And it's a good use of materials. Sometimes when I'm working, I start thinking about like the likelihood of all the people who've been involved in touching like the materials that I'm working with. When you really think about it, it's insane. Like how many people that could have been involved. It gives you a different outlook on material. People don't like touching, people don't like dealing with materials as much anymore. I feel like there was an Alan Watts thing I watched about the material world. But Daniel, you didn't tell me what was your favorite. Oh, you said. Did you game stream with your friends? Like, what were you guys streams about? So that's gonna go pretty nice now, and I'll be able to control the spacing better. Alright, let's take care of some of these long pieces. So when you get wood that you posted copyrighted music, why you didn't just take the let's delete that video? Yeah, if you're under 13. Yeah, I mean that's for good reasons. So I hear you. I hear you. not that I want to cause the chaos and controversy, but um, was very interesting about streaming and YouTube for me is that it's the exact representation of the disconnect of generations as like gaming was when I was growing up. Um, it just caught on in a way that I think parents could be very disconnected from whether there was true benefits for their child to do. And here we are, some people could get scholarships for going to school for doing video games. Who's to say that there won't be a time where you can't get a scholarship for just streaming, right? So the way that you might look at YouTube at your age is more could be more about this path or this career that could exist. Uh, I'm not so I'm not so confident that there isn't going to be some disruption in that concept. I actually believe that there will be a nice size. This one didn't work out. There's two. I think that there will be a disruption in that concept. Your friend got sponsored. Yeah, I mean, it's all good in the moment, man. It's all good. But just like I don't see this as being different than many other things. A lot of us will try, many will fail, somebody will succeed. So if we all were going to win at it, it wouldn't be something that most people would do. There's there's a level of control on it. That's why I think just doing it for yourself is a good thing. Just going out there and like I play Rocket League, and I don't have goals of being sponsored or being on a team. I don't. I just enjoy the exercise. I enjoy the mental exercise, the getting better. It actually brings me back to childhood and just being good at something, and also being able to get away from the world. I don't really take to much things that are considered drugs or alcohol or anything like that. So gaming could help, but it could go the other direction as well. A lot of people who game, they're void of reality at times. He has the same. Wow, that's cool, man. Yeah, if I could, I've thought about sponsorship. If things went the way I wanted to, I have a pretty funny. I don't even know if I should say it. Maybe it's speaking it into existence, but I was hoping that I can do a lot of the like, the show Dirty Jobs. That's my spirit. I'm like. I'm not deterred by a job that's dirty or having to work hard to do something. I like to exercise. I like to share what I'm going through. Even if what I'm talking about has nothing to do with what I'm doing. I'm not so much wanting to do the teaching type and to tell you that at step 1 you do this, at step 2 you do this. No. Now, if it comes up and I get the person saying, "Why aren't you wearing a mask? You're gonna cut your fingers off, buddy." Then we could have that conversation. There's some really good people out there that do care for people. So what I was saying before is never trust. I made these cuts, but I clearly was in a rush and was just trying to cut this down. It's not a really good cut at all. So I kind of have to, I know that I'm going to cut both sides. you should be like a life skills or motivational channel. I think I I don't disagree with that today, but like I said, what makes that hard for me is that there are okay. I'll ask you if if 4 out of the 7 days of the week I'm not as motivated, how am I to go to YouTube and be a motivation channel? You get where I'm going with that? I can't be a motivation channel and have the high integrity if I'm not doing what I'm promoting, right? So, not to say that I don't have motivation, I actually don't. I don't always enjoy going at the speed of people that you have to work with. Because a lot of people, we define words differently, even though we have the same words. I'm a very hard worker, and I've always been a hard worker. I'm an all-in kind of person. I've always been like that. So when you work in that way, it's hard to find people that are going to be all in. So then what am I in it for? Am I in it for the fact that somebody's mentality is stroked because I may have said something or reached them? No, man, there's so many motivators that are out there already. There's even AI. I found some decent AI channels that kind of speak the lingo that, you know, is peaceful. And hey, if you feel motivated, I'm all. I love it. I love it. Something's off with these cuts. But yeah, no, I do have motivating energy. It's funny you say that. I have thought about just in real life, seeing how I can take that. I listen to in saying that I listen to a lot of motivational speakers. I listen to Les Brown, um, Jim Rohn. Uh, Definitely, I forgot the name of Jim Rohn's teacher. I listen to that stuff. Earl Nightingale. I listen to old materials from him. I don't know. For me, it's just a curiosity with just growing and the way people look at stuff. Like, I'll give you one thing. Oh, it's 12? Okay. It is. I don't even know what time it is. Might be. It's 1:44 here. Cheering me on. Oh, we get those, man. We've gotten those on the channel. I appreciate you. You definitely get to learn how to just navigate. You know, this guy's turning dark. You get to learn how to navigate when things aren't going, like people aren't here. That's just part of the course, you know. I was gonna say something. I forgot what I was gonna say. That happens to me. It was something about. It must have been about motivation. A lot of the motivational speakers that I watch, they're doing it for a living, and it's definitely a craft. It's a craft. I still like being a student in that. Kind of sleepy, so you just leave your stream on while you listen. Yeah, man. Well, Make sure you get your rest. My son and my wife had an amazing sleep last night, and so I was extremely jealous. Something's wrong with my. Not that I need these cuts to be straight, but something's off here. No, it looks straight. That's the working with this type of wood. Old wood, reclaimed wood. Um, hey, it's a lot better than going to the store and buying junk for a high price. That's what we've become as a society. That's one of those topics that I would in the past stray away from because I didn't want anybody to feel away. What happened to my pencil? I didn't want anyone to feel a way about like so we all have feelings about society and the way things are, the way things are going, and I just didn't want anybody to feel away. I was trying to appeal to a mass group, just hoping that people would get the message or people would be confident with their approach to living. Most times there's no right or wrong, but there's definitely implications on what you choose to do and how you choose to live and how it impacts others. So, but I definitely strayed away from it before, but the way that many people choose to live, I mean, I hope it works for them. I could see it through my kids that there's so much work that needs to be done. There's so much poison. I don't know what kind of poison to say it. I'm not talking about poisoning your crops with pesticides. There's so much ideas, poison and ideas. So let's talk about it. I don't know who's still hanging out. I've been working through the project, talking. We had some talk about kids and parenting and childhood, and I sometimes I do feel like I could connect a lot of dots. I'm not special, but it's just the way that I think, personally. I was watching Jeff Lawton, who's my favorite permaculture person, and let's see how many we got here. He said this statement that I wanted to do a reaction on. I'm still like on the fence about reaction content and if it's worth it to do reaction content. Like, what's worth it? I guess I could do some, have it'll get rid of the material, or I could just cut them all. Let's just get to the point where we could nail some of them in. It'll make me feel like I'm on to the next step. Motivation. So Jeff Lawton says something that was so controversial. Probably the most controversial thing I've heard since I've been watching any of the channels, like any of the type of content that I watch. He said if he was the highest ruler of the world, what he would do is he would ban food from being sold. Did you hear that? If he was, if he could, he would ban food from being sold. Now, it wasn't so much. Okay. It wasn't so much a throwaway conversation. I just wanted to get away from the air compressor. It'd be too loud for you guys. All right, chicken check. Let's make sure at least most of my chickens are still around. It wasn't a throwaway comment. Jeff Lawton said that if he was the highest of the highest ruler of the world, he would ban food from being sold. What would that cause? It would cause people to, one, not get preyed on in the same way, but it would also cause people to have to involve themselves in a deeper manner in the food production, not even production, the process of you eating the food and eating the harvest is directly connected to the process of growing the harvest. Maybe I'll put some real thoughts down and actually do a reaction video to this. But that's the type of stuff that I would stray away from, because then you're getting into the politics of farming and agriculture and stuff like that. But I have an opinion. I just don't, not to say I don't want the smoke, but I don't know if the smoke is, what's the outcome of the smoke. Most times people are just going to align with how they already feel. They're not going to look double back on the numbers and the data to like draw a different conclusion. So that's just how people kind of operate. I'm going to get my chickens to go behind this white fence. That'll kind of help me to continue the stream. We're going on an hour and 48, which is a lot. I'm starting to get that talk fatigue that I used to get. Look that up. I don't know if it's a real thing, but 1 second. You know you want it. You know you want it. Come on, big mama. Come on, big mama. The only reason why they're taking so long is because I'm in the kitchen. Come on, big mama. Okay. Okay, at least while I'm working, I'm not gonna have to deal with them getting out. I think the one last one is still laying or trying to go broody. We'll see. But back's over here. I do have to go get my nail gun, which I saw earlier, so I think we're in good shape. And we'll just nail this one thing in. I'll take a break and finish up the project later. Okay, I got my nail gun. I'm using these Cinco. Yeah, these are outdoor 15 gauge. A lot of air, so there's a lot of holes in my line here. Not gonna do anything about that right now. But yeah, let's get the nail in. Let's move the camera a little bit closer. Yeah, those of you who are watching, man, press that love button there. Give a like, so just so I know you're here. Vibrations are still going. Um, this stream won't last forever, I'll tell you that. I'm fatigued. Carolyn, I'm trying to make this cabinet, this little shelf, more of a shelf. I guess it's a cabinet. I don't know what to call it. For my garden shed, my tool shed, that I just want to stack it like 3 high so I can get all these tools off the ground. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? I just cut the amount that I felt comfortable with cutting, and they kind of lined up exactly the way they should. I don't have any more or any less than what I need. Let me just do this quarter first. Make sure it's just a little bit over, so I don't have any issues when I mount the top. Yeah. This pallet wood will last forever, it looks like. Glad I brought the screws out because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna run out of screws. screws as I'm nailing. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna run out of screws from my nail gun. Pretty sure I'm out of nails, not out of screws. Okay. Let's give it a three for the big boards, I guess. Okay, so it's nice to look at. It's not so bad. It's not so light. Um, Most things I do are over engineered. So that's one shelf. Uh, this will be the next one. I guess I could just put it on top just like that. And then I'm gonna cut down, I forgot what you call it, but I have a lot of 2x6s that my neighbor gave me some time ago. And they're, you know, since he gave them to me, I'm not using them in any real construction project. So I'm gonna use that as the walls or the legs. So pretty much these legs, these are just going to be nailed in. I was thinking of using screws, but I don't know. I don't know. That is fine. Yeah, that way if I want to take it apart or move it, that might work. Kind of talked out now, so thanks a lot for anyone who joined. Daniel, Carolyn, Katie was at Chetch, and Shadow Black, Inhawks. Thanks for hanging out for sure. Stay inspired, you know. Um, Whether you see the times as tough or not, just be nice to your neighbor. Peace.